All right, so we're continuing this edition of the SportsMax Zone with Jamaican football. Exciting times are ahead for the beautiful game on the island of Wood and Water as the revamped Jamaica Women's Premier League is set to kick off this Saturday with 10 of the 11 teams in action. The league has expanded its reach to welcoming an additional 4 teams from last season's 7, and a massive part of that is due to the commercialization efforts of the newly founded Professional Women's Football Jamaica Limited and their chairperson, Christina Hudson. And as a result of that, we're so pleased to have her join us on set. So, Christina, really good news. Firstly, let's start by talking about, just how did you get involved in this? And, what's the motive behind, putting your name behind this brand now and ensuring that, you put in the work to get the results for our young girls?
Honestly, I don't even know how to tell you why I really became a part of this. But
Please tell me the truth.
No, yeah, but it's really just from, I guess, a love of Jamaica and trying to give back. This is an area where clearly there's a lot of potential to see what can be improved, and small changes I think can impact the lives of a lot of people, so that's what we're trying to achieve.
Yeah, and one of the things I find is, what I like being here in Jamaica is the structure that the men's JPL has. That's something that has always stood out for me because I think they've been reaping the rewards. A lot of their JPL players go on to take part in, competitions all around the world and everything. And I think that should be the goal. Will it be something similar when it comes to adding structure to the girls now?
Yes, so that is why PWFL was formed. We're kind of mirroring what is happening on the men's side. But women always try to do things a little bit better, so
yeah, I agree.
Hopefully we'll have even more improvements than on the men's side eventually.
And what has impressed me is the league hasn't even kicked off yet, and I'm intrigued by your ability to get these sponsors to come on. So talk to me about that.
So honestly, we have to pat the group on its back because we have not even been live for a full 2 months, and we've gotten a lot of people to come on board. But I think that's because the product speaks for itself. Everyone believes that women's football in Jamaica can be something great, especially when you look at the success of our reggae girls.
Yes.
They're very successful. I was going to say more, but let me not say anything like that. So, I think that women's football, there's a lot of potential and everyone sees it. The sponsors are ready to help bring women's football to the next level.
Yeah, I'm going to have to ask this because of what I do. Will these matches be aired on any channel? Have you all finalized any agreement when it comes to that? Because what I have noticed from my interviews with the JPL players, they always talk about the ability to pull the footage when they have to show a scout or, they're looking to go abroad. So will the girls get this opportunity, or is this something in the works?
Okay, so far we do have a streaming partner, Sora Media, who is going to be live streaming a game probably every other week. We also have TVJ on board, and while they won't be able to stream all the games, they are going to be giving us 2 to 3 minutes of highlights every week. So we do have some more visibility in the works. Also, the Observer has come on board to give us some print exposure. So, we're trying to do a little bit everywhere, including social media. We set up a YouTube page so everyone can follow us at JA Women's Premier League. But coming from 0 last year, even these little things, it's a huge step up.
Yeah. I remember when the Jamaica Premier League was restructured, initially through the PLCA and then the PFJL, there were immediate and I would say tangible benefits to the clubs in terms of profit sharing and so on. Financial resources to help them through the season. What are the tangible benefits through the rebranding of the league for the clubs involved?
Okay, so we have been working really hard on this. We have Hummel Jamaica, who have come on board, and each club is getting 25 home kits, 25 away kits, all of their socks, 25 shin guards, goalie gloves, 10 training balls, 5 match balls, like a whole
Memorize this.
yeah, a whole list of stuff that, you know, normally the clubs would have to go out and purchase for themselves. We also have the Wisynco group on board through Water, Powerade, True Shake, and they are giving us rehydration, another thing the clubs would have to purchase that we're going to be giving to them. What else is there?
Is there a monetary benefit?
Yes, so that was the next thing on the list. So we have gotten the JFF to agree to a monetary stipend per club. So each club is going to be getting $1 million per year for the next 5 years. And then at our launch, Minister Grange also announced that they will be offering support of $100,000 per club for the season, which I believe works out to an additional $500,000 per club. So I think year one, you know, we're doing pretty good.
Yeah, that is significant because one of the issues with the Women's League over the years clearly has been support. Last year, the league was down to just 7 clubs. And a large part of the reason for that is that many of the clubs just couldn't afford to play the competition. And even the teams that played, and within the competition, you had a lot of scenarios where teams turned up with not a full complement, or players were coming late because, hey, I have to go to work and make some money before I come and play this football.
And rightfully so.
And it's difficult, but now you're giving them an opportunity to say, hey, this is a start. Let's build on this.
Yes, our main goal is to ensure that every women player receives some sort of monetary benefit. You know, maybe not in year one, but definitely by year 3. And, you know, that might not necessarily be a salary. A lot of the girls are younger, but definitely something that can help them be a part of the league without having to give up something else.
Yeah.
So that's our biggest goal.
What's the prize money like, if there is any?
I don't want to comment on that yet. We are still in the fundraising side of it. So what I will say is that we definitely are planning to have prize money. We just haven't been able to confirm the amount.
Okay, fair enough. And in terms of, you know, the spread of the clubs involved in the competition, talk to us about that, because I noticed that, and maybe I'm wrong here, but it seems to me that there's a greater spread of teams right across the island than previously.
Yes, we definitely have clubs from all over the island. I think that that's important for the visibility and just getting out there so that, you know, young girls all over the island can see that this is a viable career option or a viable pathway even to go to university, get college scholarships. So yeah, we have, you know, clubs from all over.
Yeah, and in terms of the players that are going to be on show, obviously it is an opportunity for a lot of them to try and impress, to try and get into the national program. You mentioned the opportunities for scholarships. In terms of your organization, is there going to be any sort of mentoring work associated with it so you can get the young ladies to understand what are the opportunities and the avenues out there for growth?
Absolutely. So this is probably my favorite part about what we're doing. We're going to be doing some capacity building initiatives with the young women. So that, what does that look like? We're planning to do things like media training, personal development. I know I'm forgetting one. We're also going to be doing capacity building for the clubs themselves. So, you know, better training on administration, good corporate governance, all sorts of things like that. So we're not only focusing on the actual game of football, but how do you develop and improve these women who are involved at all stages.
Yeah, what about coaches and their training? Will that be something that you would consider? Because if you have good coaches, you get the opportunity to have better players.
Yes, so we actually already had our first coaching session with CONCACAF, and they did the B license back in December, and we'll be continuing that throughout this year. I have asked them if so right now I guess they have one set of coaches that they've been going through, and I've asked them if they'd come on board to do a second set while they continue this first set. You have to have the B license for 1 full year before you can, go to the next level. So I was like, well, while you're waiting, I think we should start another set of people. So we're waiting on that. But every aspect of this, football organization, we're trying to touch something in some way. It's not just about the players, or it's not just about the admin. It's everything all together.
Yeah. And can you give us a sort of clearer understanding? I guess individuals will already have an idea of how it works through the PFJL and the JPL, but the relationship between the PWFJL and the Jamaica Football Federation, and where your role starts, where it ends, and where the JFF comes in.
Okay, so the PWFGL is in charge of the business side, so marketing, commercialization, going out and getting the sponsors, going to the media, getting the exposure. But in terms of the actual on-the-day competitions, the fixtures, the scheduling, getting the referees, and even just inspecting the fields, everything competition related remains with the JFF as the governing body of football in Jamaica.
Sounds pretty clear and easy, doesn't it? I was
you made
expecting it to be
so
a little
easy.
bit more.
Yeah, no blurred lines.
No, there's no blurred lines. We understand where we fall.
Yeah. This is fantastic, though. Can you take us, in the little time we have, back to the genesis of the formation of this? How long has this been in the works in terms of forming this new organization? Or did you just get up in December and go, you know what, let's do this thing? We're doing it tomorrow. We're starting tomorrow.
I was not actively involved in the formation of the company. I was just asked to come on as a chairperson after the fact. So Mr. Rudolph Speed, who you definitely would have known in the football space, he came to me, I think it was probably around November, to say, Christina, I think that you should do this. And I was kind of like, why do you think I should do this? But here we are. And I hope that we're going to be able to make a difference.
Yeah, well, clearly you are already making a difference. And interesting that Rudolph Speed, the head coach of the Cavalier men's team, I'm not 100% sure if he is the coach of the women's team, but Cavalier have been to the last 2 finals, losing to Fraser's Whip. But really, Christina, I think the hope from all of us is that the rebranding of this competition and the additional assistance that is being given to the clubs and the players will result in, one, a better looking league, and better looking also in terms of the quality of football that is being played, because ultimately that will be the thing that drives sponsors to the product.
That's the hope. That's what we're trying to go.
Sounds good.
Yeah, well, I'll be monitoring this very, very closely. Looking forward to have you back in studio, let's just say, like mid-season, so you can
Absolutely.
I was looking for a game to go to on Saturday, right? But then I realized the only game in town is the game at UWI.
No.
No?
No. The fixtures were updated. This is very exciting.
Oh.
You need to come. So we are actually having a double header on Saturday at Arnett Gardens, so the Anthony Spalding Sports Complex. And it's 2 very exciting games. We have our defending champions, Fraser's Whip against Huey, and then Arnett Gardens versus Cavaliers.
Ooh, that's a big match.
So you can't miss it.
What time it starts?
3:30 is the first game with Fraser's Whip and Huey. And then 5:30 will be Cavaliers versus Arnett Gardens.
So she gave you something to do.
Yeah.
Saturday's book.
Yes. Looks, I'm going to make it to one of those games. I might have a tennis semi-final around that time, but I'll make some time for the ladies and then head on over to play some tennis.
As you should.
It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, Christina.
Thank you so much for having me.
So nice chatting with you, and I know we'll talk again soon.
Yay.
All right, well, we're really eager to see this competition kick off on the weekend. We're going to take a quick break and come right back.